Humanistic theories. Two pioneering theorists, Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers, offer the third force perspective that emphasized human. Abraham Maslow was a 20th century psychologist who developed a humanistic approach to psychology. He is best known for his hierarchy of needs. I know you're familiar with this. If our physiological needs are met, we become concerned with personal safety. If we achieve a sense of security, we then seek to be loved, and to love ourselves. With our love needs satisfied, we seek self esteem. Having achieved self esteem, we ultimately seek self actualization. It is the process of fulfilling our potential and self transcendence, meaning, purpose, and communion beyond the self. Carl Rogers was a 20th century humanist, psychologist, and the founder of person centered perspective. Rogers' person centered perspective held that people are basically good. People nurture our growth, and we nurture theirs, he said in three ways. Being genuine. If we are genuine to another person, we are open with our own feelings. We drop our false fronts and are transparent and self disclosing. Being accepting. If we are accepting, we offer the other person what Rogers called unconditional positive regard. This is an attitude of total acceptance. We value the person even knowing the person's failing. Being emphatic. If we are emphatic, we share another's feelings and reflect that person's meaning back to them. Rogers said, "Rarely do we listen with real understanding through empathy." Maslow and Rogers would have smiled knowingly. For them, a central feature of personality is one's self-concept. All the thoughts and feelings we have in response to the question, "Who am I?" If our self-concept is positive, we tend to act and perceive the world positively. If it is negative, if in our own eyes we fall far short of our ideal self, we feel dissatisfied and unhappy. A worthwhile goal for therapists, parents, teachers, and friends is therefore to help others know, accept, and be true to themselves, said Rogers. Before we move on, have you had someone in your life who accepted you unconditionally? Do you think this person helped you to know yourself better and to develop a better image of yourself? Trait theory. Trait is a characteristic pattern of behavior or a tendency to feel and act in a certain way, as assessed by self-report, inventories, and peer reports. Exploring traits. Classifying people as one or another distinct personality type fails to capture their full individuality. Factor analysis. It is a newer technique, a statistical correlated cluster of behaviors. Biology and personality. Our genes have much to say about the temperament and behavioral style that help define our personality. Assessing traits. It helps to know that a potential date is an introvert or an extrovert, or even that the person is emotionally stable or unstable. Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, the most widely researched and clinically used of all personality tests, originally developed to identify emotional disorders, still considered its most appropriate use. This test is now used for many other screening purposes. Personality inventory is a questionnaire, often with true, false, or agree, disagree items, on which people respond to items designed to gauge a wide range of feelings and behaviors, used to assess selected personality traits. Today's trait researchers rely on five factors, called the Big Five, to understand personality: openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. They learn that personality continues to develop and change through late childhood and adolescence. Roughly 40% of our individual differences on the Big Five can be credited to our genes. Researchers use self-report inventories and peer reports to assess and score the Big Five personality factors. Evaluating traits. To be useful indicators of personality, traits would have to persist over time and across situations. The personality traits we express change from one situation to another. Our personality traits lurk in some unexpected places. Music preferences. Your playlist says a lot about your personality. Written communications. Have you ever felt you could detect others' personalities from the writing voice? You are right. From people's writings, we can predict their levels of extraversion, neuroticism, and agreeableness. Online and personal spaces. Online profiles, blogs, websites, instant messaging accounts, and avatars are also a canvas for self-expression. People who seem most likable on their Facebook page also seem most likable in face-to-face meetings. Your online self may indeed reflect the real you. Our living and working spaces also help us express our identity.